Namaste. Welcome all of you. This is our 28th lecture in the series of online lectures. And you are learning Bookkeeping and Accountancy Standard 12 of Maharashtra Board, HSC Board. And what we are learning in these days, what we are learning currently, that is lesson number 3, Reconstitution of Partnership, and we are learning Admission of Partner. Now what did we cover in our last lecture? We are learning Reconstitution of Partnership. From last lecture, we have started this topic, and what we have covered meaning of reconstitution of partnership, different forms of reconstitution, and admission of partner, which are given on page number 125 to 128 with reference to lesson number 3, that is reconstitution of partnership, that is admission of partner, that we have already covered. And what is unveiling with us today? Today we are going to continue the same lesson, same topic, and we will cover different topics today. See, what we are going to cover today: meaning of goodwill, treatment of goodwill, with reference only one method of treatment of goodwill, that is premium method we are going to cover today. Then revaluation of assets and liabilities, and adjustment of accumulated profit and loss. Okay, apart from that, we will also take illustration number 3. Now, if you look at this, on which pages it is given, then you will find the page numbers are not consecutive page numbers. The page numbers are not the sequential page numbers. Why? I am not going to teach you in the way that I am going to complete the entire theory, then to start the problems. No, 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 no. I won't teach you in this manner. Whatever problems or whatever illustration are based on whatever theory, so I will teach that part of theory and will take that problem. Okay, in this way I am going to teach you. And so whatever we are going to learn today, it is given on page number 128, then directly page number 131 to 134, and page number 139 to 140. Okay, please note this. I hope that you have opened the books in front of you, your textbooks, account textbooks. So refer that whatever I am going to teach you is on written on these page numbers only. Okay, so I'm not taking the consecutive manner. So whatever we are going to learn, so where it is given, we are learning as per these contents. So we learn meaning of goodwill today, then methods of valuation of goodwill. Out of that we are not going to cover today. Directly we will come to treatment of goodwill, then revaluation of assets and liabilities, and adjustment of accumulated profit and losses. Okay, so these 4 points we are going to cover today, and whatever we are not covering today, whatever we have skipped, that we will learn when it is required. Okay, when we will take the problems on it. Now let's start. See, as per the competency statement stated by board, what you are able to do, how much you have understood so far. See, you have understood the meaning and different ways of reconstitution. You have understood the meaning and need of admission of a partner, why a partner is required to be admitted, what are its benefits. Okay, then you have learned the adjustments required on admission of a partner. Okay, if he brings the capital, then how it is, how the transactions are done. Then you have learned to calculate the new profit sharing ratio and sacrifice ratio. Okay, profit sharing ratio of old partners as well as of new partner, and sacrifice ratio only of old partners. Okay, that we have already learned in our last lecture. Then to know the methods of valuation of goodwill and treatment of goodwill. Okay, out of that we are going to learn what is meant by goodwill. Okay, and we are directly going to cover treatment of goodwill and only one method of treatment of goodwill. Okay, which is relevant for today's problem. Then we will cover the we will cover learn the accounting treatments of accumulated profits and losses. Then how to make necessary adjustments for revaluation of assets and liabilities. Okay, so these points we will cover today. let's start. Let's start with the first point, that is goodwill. Okay, I hope that you have already learned or came across this concept goodwill in standard 11. Okay, because you have solved the problems also from lesson number 9 in standard 11. Okay, so what is meant by goodwill? See, goodwill is the benefit, name, fame, reputation, or image of a business which ultimately helps the business to earn more profits. It is also because of the honesty, business ethics, and hard work done by all the partners in the past years. Okay, so goodwill is calculated on the basis of past performances. Now, see, what is meant by goodwill? See, it is the reputation. In short, you can call it as a reputation or name and fame. Why they got the reputation? Because the hard work they had done in the past. They had conducted their business with honesty and they had followed some business ethics. So they got some reputation, okay, in the market, in the business, in their locality. That is called as goodwill. Okay. So why they have got this? Because they have done the well work in the past. Okay, well work regarding the running of the business. Now, see, this in your book there are some printing mistakes, okay, and I have rectified it. See, this W means what? In your book, good and will what are given separate, okay, so I have written this BW to join this good and will. Okay, so you also make the necessary corrections in your book. Write this W just closed or adjacent to D. Okay, so the end there would be a single word goodwill. Okay, there is a printing mistake in the book. One more printing mistake is there. See, goodwill is calculated on the basis of past performances. In your book, R character has been printed over here instead of is. It would be part performances. So remove that R and write is instead of R. Okay, because goodwill is calculated on the basis of past performances. Okay. Now see, why I have given this arrow? Because you just have to recap. Because you have already learned what is meant by goodwill in standard 11. What is goodwill? What you have learned in standard 11 with reference to goodwill? It is the aggregate of those intangible attributes. Those are the attributes, okay, of the business. Attributes means characteristics, okay. Those intangible characteristics of a business or the features of the business which contributes. What happens because of that? What happens because of those intangible features of the business? It contributes to a superior earning capacity. Because of that goodwill, the name and fame and reputation, what they have earned, what they receive the superior earning capacity over a normal return of investment. It may arise from such attributes as favorable locations, the ability and skill of the employees and management, quality of its products and services, customer satisfaction, etc. See, these can be the reasons because of that company had earned the goodwill. So goodwill is the reputation of business. In short, what we can say, it is the reputation of business, but it is expressed in terms of money. It has the value in terms of money. Okay, though it is name and fame, though it is reputation, okay, though it is the image of business, but it has value which can be expressed in terms of money. Okay, so goodwill is an intangible asset. This all parts you have already learned in standard 11. Okay, that's how I have shown this back arrow. Goodwill can be earned by partners by their well-established profitable business in the past. See, goodwill can be by two ways we can say goodwill. It can be earned by partners in their past because of the well-established and profitable business which they had carried in the past. Also, it can be profit which can be gained in future also. Okay, goodwill can also be the profit which can be gained in future. But why? Due to the efforts taken and the name and fame and reputation earned by the business in the past. Okay, so whatever name and fame and reputation they have earned in the past, they can get the future also. They can get the profit also in the future. Okay, so goodwill can also be the profit which can be gained in the future. So this is goodwill can be in the past or also can be in the future. See, this definition is there. Now, what we have learned in standard 11, goodwill is an asset, okay? Because it has a it is a physical thing, and right own that has a monetary value. Goodwill has a monetary value. That's why it is called as an asset. The ownership of that asset must be with the business. Why? If the goodwill is an asset, the ownership of that asset must be with business. And which type of asset it is? Goodwill is a non-current asset, right? It is a fixed asset and it is a non-current asset. Okay, that this also I have extracted from your book of standard 11, which is given in lesson number 1. Okay, so I hope that you have already very well versed with the concept of goodwill. What more you have learned in standard 11? See, it is intangible real estate. Goodwill is an intangible real estate. Okay, why it is intangible? It cannot be seen, it cannot be touched, or it cannot be felt. We cannot show someone what is meant by goodwill. We cannot touch the goodwill, we cannot feel the goodwill, but it can be measured in terms of money. Okay, as the other intangible assets like patent, trademark, copyright, etc. Okay, so goodwill is an intangible real asset, a real account. Okay, it can be considered under real account. See, apart from that, we have solved the problems of goodwill in lesson number 9, that is final accounts of proprietary concern. Okay, you had learned proprietary concern only, proprietary business in standard 11. Okay, and with reference to that lesson, you have solved the problems which are based on goodwill. Okay, this was all relating to your standard 11. So I hope your concept of goodwill is very well clear. Now let's move ahead. Now, that is the goodwill and how this goodwill is treated in the business. See, unlike other assets, unlike me, what do you mean by unlike? Not like means not as other assets. Goodwill is treated separately. Okay, why not as other assets are not treated separately? Other assets are not treated separately, but goodwill is treated separately at the time of reconstitution of the firm. Okay, whatever may be the form of reconstitution, whatever may be the reason of reconstitution, goodwill is treated separately. Treated means whatever reactions has to be done on that goodwill, those are done separately, not as other common assets. Okay, there are two methods of recording goodwill in the books of account while admitting the new partner in the firm. Because what we are learning today, admission of a partner. And when the partner is admitted, the goodwill can be recorded by these two methods. First is premium method and second is valuation method. Today we are going to see the premium method. Okay, what is meant by premium method? See, what we have already known what is meant by goodwill. Okay, and now this why we are learning these transactions, these treatments of the goodwill? Because new partner is bringing the goodwill. Okay, new partner is bringing the goodwill, and what should be done with that goodwill? He brings that is called as treatment. As the amount of goodwill he brings in the old partnership business, what should be done with that goodwill amount? That is called as treatment. Okay, and the treatment can be done on that goodwill in two ways. Now, what is meant by premium method? Under this method, new partners brings his share of goodwill in cash or kind. Okay, new partner is bringing his share of goodwill. It may be in cash or it may be in kind. Kind means he can give the goodwill in if he has land or any fixed assets. Okay, so basically he brings his share of goodwill. Okay, whatever share belongs to him, that much of share of goodwill he will bring in the business. If he wants to join that business, if he wants to get admitted in that business, so he will bring his share of goodwill in the business in cash or kind. It may be retained in the business or may be withdrawn by the partners. See, he is bringing the goodwill. Now, the goodwill, it depends on the mentality or the tendency or the attitude of the partners. See, some partners can keep it as it is forever in the business, whatever money has been brought by the new partner as a goodwill. Some old partners can keep as it is. Okay, they can maintain as it is. That is called as retained. Retained means keeping as it is. they can retain the in the business that money, or some partners can withdraw also. Okay, that depends on those partners. What should be done with the goodwill which the new person is bringing, that depends upon the partners. Okay, anything can be done. Now see, there can be many three cases. Okay, depending upon the goodwill which has been brought by the new partner, there are the three varieties or three cases we can call. Okay, see, what is the first case? When the new partner brings his share of goodwill in cash and it is retained in the business. Okay, now see, in this case, whatever share of the goodwill is brought by the new partner, in this partnership business, they are retaining that goodwill. Means they are keeping as it is. Okay, they are not withdrawing. This is the first case. The old partners are not withdrawing. They are maintaining that goodwill. Okay, they are keeping that amount of goodwill that is called as retained. Now, in this case, what happens? What comes in? Cash or bank. Okay, where whom do we debit? Cash or bank account is debited on account of what? Goodwill. So what is the journal entry? Cash account debited to goodwill account. Okay, because cash comes in on account of goodwill. Okay, so goodwill account is credited. What is the narration? Being goodwill brought in by new partner. Okay, so the new partner brings in the goodwill. Then what happens? That goodwill is transferred to the old partners in their capital or current account. Okay, so what is the second entry? Because it is retained in the business, to whom it is given? It is given to the old partners. So what is the second transaction? Goodwill account debited to old partners capital or current account. In the sacrificing partners capital account, which partners? Old partners means sacrificing partners, because they are sacrificing their share of profit. Okay, so that goodwill is transferred to those old partners. It can be transferred to their capital account or current account. Now, who decides this? On what it depends where it would be transferred? See, for that you have to refer what we learned in our lesson number 1, which method they are following. Okay, which method of maintaining the capital they are following, whether fixed capital method or fluctuating capital method. Okay, if nothing has been given in the problem, then it is obvious that they are following fluctuating capital method. Okay, if current account balance has been given, it means they are following fixed capital method. Okay, it depends on that where that goodwill will be credited. Okay, so that goodwill will be credited to old partners capital or current account, depending upon the which method of maintaining the capital they are following. Okay, so they now understand this again. The new partner is bringing the goodwill in terms of cash or bank. So it is the entry, journal entry, cash or bank account debited. Okay, to goodwill account, because cash or bank comes in. Then whatever is received in form of goodwill, that is distributed to the partners, and it is given shown on the credit side of the partner's capital or current account. Okay, now in which ratio? Sacrifice ratio. What is the narration of this second entry? Being goodwill distributed among old partners, that is sacrificing partners in their sacrifice ratio. Whatever goodwill has been brought by the new partner, it is distributed to the old partners, that is sacrificing partners, in their sacrifice ratio. Now what is it means actually? See, as the old or existing partners sacrifice their portion or part of their current profit for the new incoming partner, right? Whatever goodwill is brought in by the new admitting partner, it is distributed among the old partners, as it is the compensation against their loss suffered due to incoming or admission of the new partner, or it can be compensation for the share of their reputation. What does this mean? See, suppose there are two partners, A and B. Okay, we can call them as old partners. They were having a partnership firm and they were sharing their profits and losses in the ratio of 6:4. Okay, now and they have earned some reputation. Their business is running very well. Now, the third person C wants to join their partnership firm, and he says that I want 3/4 of the profit, 3/4 of the total profit, because I'm bringing the, we'll take 2/4, okay, of the profit from your business. Then to give him the 3/4 of profit, see, because 3/4 is the big share. Okay, what they have to give? They have to give some of their share to C, and a little share will remain with them. Okay, little share will remain with them. Same, B will give his share of profit to C, and his little share will remain. So whatever they are sacrificing, their amount, their portion of profit, right? They are sacrificing their portion of profit. They are giving away some portion of profit. And what? Why they will suffer? Why they will suffer the loss? So to compensate that loss, to recover that loss, they will ask C to bring the goodwill, handsome amount of goodwill. If he is asking for the 3/4, see, it is a big quantity, right? 3/4 amount, 3/4 of the profit he is asking for, share, his profit sharing he is asking for, then he has to contribute a handsome amount of goodwill also. Okay, so that whatever amount of goodwill he is bringing in the business, because he wants to join the new, join the famous business, so that goodwill will be distributed among the two partners, A and B. Okay, that will be distributed among the two partners because they are sharing their profits with them. Why they will suffer? Because their share of profit will get reduced. Okay, so for that, for to compensate that loss, they will take the goodwill. Okay, and so the goodwill, whatever he is bringing, will be distributed among these two partners. And which ratio? That is called as sacrifice ratio. What is meant by sacrifice ratio? What they are sacrificing, how much they are sacrificing for the new person. Okay, how much they are sacrificing for the new person. In that sacrificing ratio, to compensate that sacrifice, to compensate that loss, whichever they are suffering, the goodwill will be given to them. Okay, this is the concept hidden behind this. So whatever goodwill has been brought by the new partner, okay, that is distributed to the old partners in their sacrificing ratio. That is the reason why it is distributed to them in the sacrificing ratio, because they are sacrificing some amount, some portion of their profit to the new partner. So whatever they are sacrificing, whatever they are suffering the loss, to cover that loss, they will take the goodwill. They will ask the partnership to that much amount of goodwill. Okay, that was case one. Now let's move to case two. What is case two? When the new partner brings his share of goodwill in cash, okay, it is up to here, it is common. He is bringing his share of goodwill in cash and it is withdrawn by all partners. Okay, see, these partners, in some partners may be willing to withdraw, so they may not be willing to maintain it, they may not be willing to retain it. Okay, that withdrawal can be partly or fully also. That depends upon, entirely depends upon those partners. Okay, whatever goodwill has been brought in by the new partner, old partners, so one of the partner may say, no, I want to retain it as it is entirely. The other may say, no, I want to withdraw partly or some portion of that goodwill. Okay, somebody may say, both of them, in any some cases both of the partners may say, no, I want to retain, both of us want to retain. In some cases both of them may be willing to withdraw. Okay, that uh, the case may be different for every partnership firm. Okay, so it may be 100% withdrawal, it may be partly withdrawal. Okay, or somebody may be willing to keep it partly, retain it partly. Okay, so if they are withdrawing, what is important thing, they are withdrawing here. In earlier case they were retaining, here they are withdrawing. Okay, so entries up to here are common. Up to where? See, cash or bank account debit to goodwill. Why? Being goodwill brought in by new partner, it is common. Then goodwill is transferred to the old partners, to their capital or current account in their sacrifice ratio. Up to here it is common. What is the narration of this? Being goodwill distributed among the old partners. Okay, up to here it is common. But now, what is separate? What is special? In this case, they are withdrawing the goodwill. Okay, So whatever amount they are withdrawing, that is actual amount we have to debit. Okay, whatever is the actual amount of withdrawal, with that amount we have to debit to their capital or current account. Okay, because that money will go out from their capital or current account, so we have to debit it. So what is the journal entry? Old partners capital or current account debit. See, because they are withdrawing now. Old partners capital or current account debit to cash or bank account. Okay, from where they are withdrawing? They are withdrawing from cash or bank, because when the new partner brought the goodwill, it was deposited in, we assume that it was deposited in bank, or it is retained, kept as it is in cash. Okay, whatever it may be. So if they deposit immediately in the bank, then the partners may withdraw from the bank. If the cash is kept as it is in the in form of cash, so they can withdraw from cash. Okay, but the concept is they are withdrawing. So what is the journal entry? Old partners capital or current account debit with what amount? Whatever is the actual withdrawal amount. Okay, so from where? From cash or bank. What goes out? Cash goes out. Okay, so credit what goes out and debit what? Receiver. Okay, who is the receiver? Old partners. Okay, so old partners capital or current account debit to cash or bank account. And what is the narration? Kept being goodwill withdrawn by old partners with, but what is the important word you have to remember here? That is with actual withdrawn. Okay, whatever is the actual amount of withdrawn by, see here you have to take the names of two partners individually. Okay, you have to write A's capital account and B's capital account, and you have to debit that individual amount separately. Okay, now what is the case 3? Case 3, which is not ideal case and which does not take place when new partner brings his share of goodwill in cash. It is paid to old partners privately. Okay, it generally doesn't happen that he is going to tell in the ears of the partners that I will pay you the goodwill, but I am paying it to the part privately. Okay, so it doesn't take place. And if such thing happens, then in this case no entry is required to be passed in the books of the firm. So these were the three cases with reference to the treatment of goodwill. What we are learning? Treatment of goodwill. What should be done by the goodwill amount which is brought in by the new partner while admitting. Okay. Now, what is the first thing what we when we think about the solving the problem of this admission of partner? What is the first thing? First thing that we have to calculate the ratios. Okay, which ratio we have to calculate? First step it is we have to calculate the ratios. Okay, first step. Which ratios we have to calculate? See, if there are the two partners and the two partners were having their own profit sharing ratios, okay, and now they are admitting the third partner, then they are giving some of their profits, both of them are giving their sum of their profits to C, their earlier profit sharing ratios will reduce, right? Because they are giving their share of profit to the new partner. So their profit sharing ratios will reduce because of this sacrifice. And their new profit sharing ratios will be lesser, right? Because less will remain because they have given away something to C. So less will remain, and this is called as new profit sharing ratio. Okay, so three types of ratios. You have to calculate two ratios: their sacrifice ratios and their new profit sharing ratios. Okay, new profit sharing ratio, C's ratio also would be there. Okay, because C will get these two shares, right? What C will get? C will get the shares of profit from A and B. So C will also have whatever he has received from A and B, that will be his profit sharing ratio. Okay, so we have to calculate the profit sharing ratios first. Okay, if we are admitting the new partner, then we have to calculate new profit sharing ratios. And what we have to do, whatever has been brought in by the partner, new partner, what he brings the capital, he brings the goodwill. Okay, whatever has been brought in by the partner, okay, that is the treatment of this that should be done. Okay, whatever has been brought, that the treatment of that should be done. Then what we have to do? We have to transfer. What is the third thing? We have to transfer. What we have to transfer? See, we have to transfer the old assets which are shown in the balance sheet. Okay, whatever was there in the old balance sheet, that entirely belong to the old partners, right? So whatever was there in the old balance sheet, so before admitting the new partner, they should transfer whatever was there between the old partners A and B. Okay, the second thing is, it is the transferring of the whatever is there in the balance sheet. And the fourth is adjustment. Okay, fourth is solve the adjustment. See, remember these four steps properly. Fourth is the adjustment. Now, we have always seen that below the trial balance, while solving any problem, we have always seen there are the adjustments given below the trial balance. Okay, but now here, what has been happened? The balance sheet has been prepared by the old firm. Okay, the balance sheet has been prepared, and this new partner is getting admitted. So there may be some rules, regulations, some adjustments they must be doing. Okay, so all the adjustments are given below the balance sheet. Okay, there would be profit and loss account, there would be balance sheet, and while admitting the new partner, they have to follow some rules and regulations, some tactics. Okay, so whatever are the adjustments given below the balance sheet, that also must be solved, and those adjustments should also be given the effect. That is the fourth step. Okay, so we have seen how to calculate the new ratios. Then we have also seen the journal entries for capital and goodwill, which is brought in by the new partner. For capital, we have seen in our lecture 1, and for goodwill, we have seen today, just now. Now, the third thing, that is a transferring. We have to transfer the balance sheet assets or liabilities, okay? Because we have to revalue them. If the new partner is going to enter in the business, then we have to revalue the old assets or liabilities. Okay, that is the third thing. Now, let's move to that point. I hope the theory is clear to you. What is meant by third step, that is revaluation and transferring. Before transferring, the revaluation of the asset should be done. Now, what is meant by revaluation? What is meant by re means again. Okay, again the valuation of the assets and liabilities is done. Why this again valuation is done? See, the value of assets shown in the balance sheet may be different than market value. We have already seen this concept in while solving the problem of partnership final accounts also. Okay, the market value of the asset can be different than what is shown in the balance sheet. Okay, that was usually given under the adjustments. The book value was so and so, but the market value or the value actual value or the value realized, that is the market value. Okay, the word can be different, anything, actual value, realized value, market value. Okay, so value of the assets can be, real values can be different, market values can be different than what is given in the balance sheet. Okay, now what should be done? What can be there? What can be there? The values can have been increased, or values can also have been decreased also. Okay, anything can be there. Sorry. So the increase or decrease in the value at the time of admission of new partner belongs to old partners only. Okay, because the earlier balance sheet, the old balance sheet, whatever is there in that balance sheet, that is only because of the efforts or the business carried by the old partners only. So before admission of the new partners, whatever was there in the balance sheet, that must be revalued, and it should be given to the old partners only. Okay, the new partners has no right over such past profits. See, the new partner, because he is entering now, so he has no right over the past profit which has been earned by the old partners. Okay, he has no right over the profits, as well as he has no bearings towards the liabilities also, or to the losses also. Okay, as he has nothing to do with the whatever is or is given of the balance sheet, nothing to do with its past profits, nor he has to suffer due to the losses on the revaluation of the assets. Okay, if there are some losses the business is suffering, okay, then the new partner has nothing to do. He will not share profit, as well as he will not share the losses. Whatever comes after the revaluation, that will be given to the old partners only. Okay, now see, in this book Again, there is one printing mistake. After this word value, make an arrow and write the word of assets. Okay, book has not printed it. Make an arrow and write of assets. And here, this A has been given capital. Instead of that, make it small. Okay, it should be small. And after this profit, make one semicolon. Write one semicolon after this word profits. Okay. Now, how the asset should be revalued? That we'll see in detail. See, as the assets are revalued, same way there may be unrecorded assets also, unrecorded liability also at the time of admission. See, which were the unrecorded assets which we saw in first lesson, that this much of sales were unrecorded, right? Say, so if the sales were unrecorded, then what increases? Debtors increases. Debtor is an asset, so there can be unrecorded asset. Furniture was sold and it was included in sales. Okay, this is again, this kind of adjustment will also affect the furniture, that is asset. Okay, so there can be unrecorded assets or unrecorded liabilities also. We had purchased this much of material from this vendor and we have forgotten to enter it. So what will increase? Sundry creditors will increase. So that is an unrecorded liability. So there can be unrecorded assets or unrecorded liabilities also at the time of admission of the new partner. Okay, because he can enter any time. Okay, so there can be anything. It should be shown in the books before admitting the new partner. Okay, so whatever is unrecorded asset, unrecorded liability, okay, its transactions, its effect should be shown in the books before admitting of the new partner, because he has nothing to do. Whatever was the unrecorded asset or liability, whatever was their profit, whatever was their loss, he has nothing to do. So they have to show in the books before admitting him. Such adjustments of values of assets and liabilities is called as revaluation. What is this concept called as? This concept is called as revaluation. Okay, there can be increase in the value of assets, there can be decrease in the value of assets. What is called to the increase in the value of assets? It is called as appreciation. Okay, assets could have appreciated also, then assets could have depreciated also. So whatever has been revalued of the assets. Similarly for liabilities, okay, there could be unrecorded liabilities. The liabilities would have decreased also. Whatever is given in the books of account in the balance sheet, some there can be some adjustments also. So we have to solve those adjustments, and where we have to solve those adjustments? In the book, new book. That book is called as revaluation of assets and liabilities. Okay, because the assets and liabilities are revalued. I hope your concept has been got clear now. Now, at the time of reconstitution of the firm, assets and liabilities of the firm are revalued. The change made in the value of assets and liabilities are recorded in revaluation account or profit and loss adjustment account also. Okay, either in revaluation account or in profit and loss adjustment account. What is done? Whatever has been after the reconstitution of the partnership, whatever has been changes in the assets and values of the assets and liabilities, profits and losses, okay, those are recorded in the revaluation account or profit and loss adjustment account. After recording the increase or decrease in assets and liabilities, the gain or loss, it can be increase and decrease in assets and liabilities. Gain or loss on the revaluation is transferred to all partners in their capital or current account in their old profit sharing ratio. Okay, see, that should be what if you find out that after revaluation there is profit. Okay, after revaluation of assets, after revaluation of liabilities, there is profit, then that profit should be credited to the old partners capital or current account. That again depends upon the method they are following. Okay, in their old profit sharing ratio, which is the most important word here. Whatever they have retained, whatever they have gained, that should be shared to them in their old profit sharing ratio. If it is found that they are suffering loss on revaluation, Okay, then also it should be debited to the old partner's capital or current account. Okay, in their profit older profit sharing ratio, means whatever was their earlier profit sharing ratio, because whatever was that is before admitting of the new partner, right? That is before admitting of the new partner. So that is on whatever loss, profit, increase, decrease, that all belongs to the old partners only. So it should be distributed or it should be debited or credited to their capital or current account in their old profit sharing ratio only. Okay, because nothing is related to the new partner. Okay, so as he will not take the burden of their losses, neither he will get the fruits of their profit, right? So he has nothing to do. So it will be debited or credited, profit or loss, to their old partners in their old profit sharing ratio. This revaluation account or profit and loss adjustment account is a nominal account. So which rules are applicable to the nominal account? Rules are applicable to the revaluation account or profit and loss adjustment account. Now, which are the cases? What happens when the revaluation of assets and liabilities is done? The first case, okay, what can happen? Okay, these are the cases only. Increase in the value of assets and decrease in the value of liability. Okay, increase in the value of asset. What is the example? For example, the book value of the building was rupees 2 lakh. Okay, and currently that locality has been become famous. Okay, for example, that building is new highway is passing across that building. Okay, whatever is the building of the partnership firm, new highway is passing in front of that firm. Okay, so what will happen? The value of that building will increase. Okay, so that is what increase in the value of asset, that is called as appreciation of that asset. So what is happening? The value is increasing. So if there is increase in the value of the asset, then what will happen? Asset account will get debited. Okay, asset account will get debited with the only in the increased value. Okay, whatever increase, whatever is the difference between book value and market value, in this case we are assuming that market value is increased. So whatever is the increase, only that portion will debit to that specific asset account and will credit to the revaluation account or profit and loss adjustment account. Okay, because we are crediting it to the revaluation or profit and loss adjustment account. There can be, see, increase in asset is good and decrease in liability is also good or profitable for the business. So if the liability is decreasing, that is also a profit, right? Decreasing of the liability is also profit. So the same entry would be passed for it. That is, if any liability is decreasing, okay, for example, any creditor is giving us a huge discount, okay, then what will happen? Liability account debit to revaluation account or profit and loss adjustment account. Okay, so this is revaluation of profit and loss account will get credited because it is a profit, because assets are increasing and liabilities are decreasing. Okay, now what could be the second case? Decrease in the value of asset. Value of the asset is decreasing. Okay, and increasing the value of liability. In which case the value of assets decreases? It can be for the machinery, furniture. Okay, the value of the assets can decrease, so it is a loss. Okay, so if the value of the assets are decreasing, and so it is a loss, as well as the value of the liabilities are increasing. Okay, so for example, there are some unrecorded purchases we found out. Okay, so these are the increase in the liability. So increase in liability is increasing, so it is a loss. So so in this case, what will be happen with the profit and loss or revaluation account, as it is a nominal account? So what is the, as per the rule of nominal account, revaluation account or profit and loss account is debited because it is a loss. Okay, debited with what amount? Whatever was the depreciation amount in the assets, that specific asset is to asset account and to liability account. Okay, with whatever amount the value of the asset has been decreased, that amount we will credit over here. Okay, similarly, whatever amount of liability has been increased, okay, asset value has been decreased and liability value has been increased, that will get credited. Okay, so What is the narration for this? Being the value of asset decreased and the value of liability increased. Okay, so revaluation account or profit and loss account is debited with asset or liability amount with the specific amount of decrease in the asset or increase in the liability. Okay, it is a pure loss, and in earlier case it was a profit because value of the asset was increasing, it was appreciation. For example, there is a furniture of teak wood. You must be knowing what is meant by teak wood. Teak wood is the famous tree. Okay, so if the furniture is made up of teak wood in that building, in that partnership firm, then the teak wood is not available these days. So even if there is a old furniture of the teak wood which is made up of teak wood, the next year its value will increase. Okay, because teak wood has a great value in use. Okay, so this can be the second case also, that the value of the assets is increasing, the value of the assets is appreciating. Okay, so in the earlier case that was the profit. So we were debiting assets and crediting revaluation account, but here in case of loss we are debiting revaluation account with assets and liability. Third case, recording the unrecorded assets in the books of accounts. Unrecorded asset. Okay, what is unrecorded asset? The, for example, unrecorded sales. Okay, those are called as unrecorded asset. So if unrecorded assets are there, where those are recorded? See, here you have to make the change as this in the book. You have to write new or unrecorded asset account debited to revaluation account. Okay, because it is profit, it is gain. So what we should debit? That specific account we should debit. New unrecorded asset account. Okay, which was unrecorded earlier. Okay, that we have to debit, and whom we have to credit? Revaluation account. Okay, and what is the narration? Being unrecorded assets brought in the books of account. Brought in the books of accounts means those are recorded now. Unrecorded assets were there, now those are recorded. The fourth case, creating new liability in the book. Okay, there can be new liability which has been arisen, which you were not known. Okay, or you were failed to pay to the creditors. So it is a new liability which you were assuming that you will pay, but you are not able to pay. So it is a liability. So new liability is arising. Then whom you have to debit? Revaluation account should get debited with what? To new unrecorded liability account. Okay, if the new liability comes under the book. Okay, while admitting of the partner, we have to do all these adjustments. These are called as the adjustments. Okay, and what is the narration for this? Being unrecorded liability brought in the books of accounts means it is recorded in the books of accounts. Which books of account? Revaluation, profit and loss revaluation account, or what we told? Revaluation account. Profit and loss adjustment account or revaluation account. Fifth case. What can see? Either all of the cases may happen or any of the case may happen or nothing can happen. Okay. See, transfer of profit on revaluation to old partners' capital or current account. Now, whatever were the four types of, see, this is the fifth transaction. Before that, we saw fourth transaction: increase in asset, decrease in asset. Okay, there can be increase in liability or decrease in liability. Okay, so these were the four things. Apart from that, unrecorded profits, unrecorded assets, or unrecorded liabilities. Okay, so all these four types we have seen. Now, after recording all these things in the revaluation account or profit and loss adjustment account, what we found finally while closing it, okay, while after tallying it, we will find either profit or loss. Okay, profit can be found on debit side, or loss profit we can find the profit while tallying on the debit side, and loss can be found on the credit side. Okay, so there can be profit or can be loss. Okay, to whom? To the revaluation account, because we are revaluing, or profit and loss adjustment account. There can be profit after telling all the things, all the items, or there can be loss also. Now, where that loss or profit should be given the effect? See, to transfer of profit, if there is profit on revaluation to old, sorry, where comes the profit? See, profit comes here. Okay, because it is a nominal account, like profit and loss account. Because it is profit and loss account, adjustment account or revaluation account. It is a nominal account like profit and loss account. The profit will come here only. Okay, if the profit is there, if they find the profit after revaluation, then what should be done with it? The profit on revaluation should be to the old partner's capital or current account. Okay, that profit should be given to the old partners. Okay, partner's capital or current account is there. It should be given to the, where we deposit the profit, to the credit side of the, right, credit side of the partner's capital or current account. Partner's capital or current account, we credit that much of profit. Okay, now the same rule applicable over here. Whatever you have learned in lesson number 1, okay, the same rule is applicable everywhere. May it be the partnership, may it be the admission of the partner, may it be the death of the partner, retirement of the partner, dissolution of the firm. For everything the rule is the same. Okay, if the profit is found over here, then it is distributed to the partner's capital or current account in their old profit sharing ratios, because that is because only because of their old balance sheet and old adjustment. Okay, it is distributed to the partner's capital or current account, to their credit side. Now see, now here we have prepared the revaluation account, and if you found the profit, okay, see, what should be done? Revaluation account debit to old partner's capital or current account. Okay, so the revaluation account is debit with that much of profit. This is debit side, and where it is credited, partner's capital or current account, it is credited. Okay, that much of profit. Being profit on revaluation, credited to partner's capital or current account. Depends upon the method they are following, whether to fixed capital method or fluctuating capital method. Then it depends whether they are maintaining partner's capital account or partner's current account. Okay, but in which ratio it is distributed? It is credited in their old profit sharing ratio. What was their old profit sharing ratio? Okay, why? These all 4 or 5 or 6 types of adjustment, whatever transactions this has been taken place, it is only because of the business which they have carried in the past. Okay, whatever business they had carried out in the past, because of them it has been arisen. Increase in the asset, decrease in the asset, increase in the liability, decrease in the liability. Whatever has been happened, that is because of the business, the way the business they had carried the business. So it will be credited to their partner's capital or current account in their old profit sharing ratio. Or what can be the sixth case? There can be loss also. See, if this is the revaluation account, then where we find the loss? See, when we tally all the adjustments, okay, and if we find this side is bigger, the amounts in this side are bigger than the amounts in this side, credit side, then we find the loss. Okay, because revaluation account is the nominal account, so rules of same applicable as profit and loss account. So loss, we find the loss over here. Okay, why? Because the amounts in this side are lesser. Okay, so there is the loss. So where the loss should be transferred? Transfer of loss on revaluation should be given to old partner's capital or current account. Okay, see, where do we transfer? Where should we transfer the loss? This is the partner's capital or current account. Okay, as they are funding the loss over here, and it should be obviously debited to partner's capital or current account. Okay, in their old profit sharing ratio itself. See, it should be given treatment here. See, if there is loss, now see, there is a loss on revaluation, it should be given to the old partner's capital or current account. So what is the entry? Old partner's capital or current account debit to revaluation account. Why? We are transferring this over here, and this is only because of what? Revaluation account. Okay, so old partner's capital or current account debit to revaluation account. Okay, being loss on revaluation transfer to partner's capital or current account. Now, this is the specimen. Specimen means format. Okay, this is the format for solving the revaluation or profit and loss adjustment entries. Okay, this is the format. We are going to see this format today and we'll solve one simple problem which is based on whatever we have learned today. See, revaluation of assets and liabilities. This is the specimen or format for solving the profit and loss adjustment account. Now see, whatever 6 kinds of transactions which we saw just now, depending on that, see that specific is all the 6 transactions what we have learned, that would be debited and credited to this revaluation account. Now see, as this is the nominal account, you always have to remember this is the nominal account. Okay, so if there is increase in the assets, so that is the profit, so it should be credited, right, to the revaluation account by asset account. Whatever is the increase or appreciation in the asset, in the value of the asset, that is you have to credit by asset account. To whom? To the revaluation account with that much of amount. Then if there is decrease in the liability, again it is a profit, so again you have to credit it to the profit and loss adjustment or revaluation account by that much of decrease in the liability. Okay, then if there is decrease in asset, what is meant by decrease in asset? It is a loss. Okay, so whatever is the loss, it may be due to the depreciation. Okay, so whatever may be the reason, there is loss in the asset, so it should be debited. It should be debited with that much of amount. Okay, so decrease in the asset, that is the loss, that should be debited to whom? To revaluation or profit and loss account. Okay, with that much of amount only. Or there can be increase in the liability. Liabilities could have also been increased. So increase in the liabilities again a loss. So that should be debited to revaluation account or profit and loss account. Now, these are all 4 transactions, kinds of transactions we have completed. Then we will do the total of these amounts. Okay, and we will do the total of these amounts. Okay, then we will come to know which side is bigger, the total of which side of amounts is bigger. Okay, the total of this debit side of amount is bigger, then what we will find? Then we will find the loss. Okay, if this total is bigger, okay, whatever this amount, if this amount is bigger, then we will find the loss on the revaluation. Okay, why? This side is bigger means this side is lesser, and this side is lesser, then it is a debit balance. Okay, because debit side is bigger, it is always called as debit balance, because debit side is bigger, so there is a balance on the credit side. Okay, that is called as debit balance. So that is called the loss, because it is nominal account and there is a deficit. See, which side is bigger? This is bigger, so there is deficit. Okay, less values on the credit side, so it is a loss. And what should we do with that loss? It should be transferred to the old partner's capital or current account in their old profit sharing ratios. Okay, always remember, it should be transferred to old partner's capital or current account in their old profit sharing ratio. And what it is? It is the loss on the revaluation which has been transferred to the old partners. Okay, now if what should be the this is for the adverse case. Okay, unfavorable case in which there should be loss. Okay, but what is the favorable case? What is the profitable case? That there should be profit. Okay, when we come, if the amounts in the credit side, the total of the amounts in the credit side are more. Okay, this is the ideal case. This should happen. If the amounts on the credit side are more, then we will find the profit over here. Okay, this is due to the more credit balance. We will find the profit over here. Okay, that is the balancing figure. Okay, and if you find the profit over here, it should be it should be given to the old partners. So what is the transaction? To old partners capital normal revaluation account, debit to old partners capital or current account. Okay, old partners capital or current account depends upon which method they are following, whether fixed capital method or fluctuating capital method. Okay, it would be distributed to the old partners. What it is? It is the profit and profit on revaluation that is transferred in their old profit sharing ratio. That's the most important thing. Whether they get profit or loss, that is distributed to the old partners in their old profit sharing ratio. Okay, because that is only because of the business they have carried in their past. Okay, so it should be distributed in their old profit sharing ratios only to the old partners. Okay, with this you have completed how the value should be, how the assets and liabilities should be revalued before admitting of the new partner. Okay, and this special account is required to be prepared. Now, if there are adjustments on of accumulated profits or losses. Okay, now see what is meant by accumulated profit. Accumulated profit is the profit earned by the old partners before admitting the new partner. Okay, what is meant by accumulated? Collected. Okay, that has been collected and it has been increased. That is called as accumulated profit. If it is such profit is there earned by the old partners, then before admitting the new partner, in their old profit sharing ratio, that may be in the form of undistributed profit, reserve fund, general reserve, workmen compensation fund, joint policy reserve. That is the profit only. See, they keep this profit. They show, where do they show the profit? This profit, they show the profit in the liability side, right? And it can be shown. See, there is whatever they earn the profit. What business does, whatever profit they earn, they keep as the some fund or some reserves. Okay, whenever they requires it, they may use that reserve. Okay, so that is the profit only. That general reserve, then workmen's compensation fund, joint policy reserve, undistributed profit, all that is profit which is retained by the or maintained by that old partnership business. Okay, so what should be done with that profit? What is that accumulated profit? Okay, that should be accumulated profit is the profit earned by the old partners. That may be in the form of all these things. Okay, that is the accumulated profit. And what should be done? See, here make one more marking. Book, it is not printed in the book, right? After this word partner, make one arrow and write these words in their old profit sharing ratios. Okay, in their old profit sharing ratio. Now, what are the adjustments of this accumulated profit and losses? Okay, now see, these reserves are the liability side balance sheet. Okay, you have seen that reserve, general reserve, all the reserve fund, all those are shown on the liability side of the balance sheet. Therefore, it should be transferred on credit side of the partner's capital or current account, right? Because it is a profit. So when it should be distributed to the credit side of the partner's capital or current account, depending upon the method which they are following. Okay, so whatever is the reserves, okay, which is shown on the liability side of the balance sheet, it should be, here make one arrow and write the word it should be transferred on credit side of the partner's capital or current account. Okay, and what is the transaction for this? Any type of reserve or accumulated profit account. Okay, any type of reserve, but you have to write the proper name of that reserve. Okay, any type of reserve or accumulated profit account debit to old partner's capital or current account. Here again write the word, make an arrow and write the word old, where it should be credited old partner's capital account. Okay, because that is a profit and that should be distributed to the old partner's capital account. So that profit will get, okay, on the credit side of partner's capital or current account. Okay, that whatever is the profit that will be credited to the partner's capital or current account. Okay, being reserve or accumulated profit transferred to old partners. Okay, in their whatever old partnership profit sharing ratio which has been given. Okay, this is for profit, accumulated profit. Okay, now what is for the accumulated loss? What is meant by accumulated loss? See, accumulated loss is the loss sustained by the old partners before admitting the new partner. Okay, whatever loss they have suffered, and that loss has been accumulated. Okay, collected, generated. Okay, and that what should be done with that loss before admitting the new partner? It is undistributed loss. Okay, and it appears on the asset side of the balance sheet, where it is generally shown on the asset side of the balance sheet. It should be transferred on the debit side of partner's capital or current account. Okay, here make an arrow and write the word it should be before the word admit transferred, that word it should be. What should be done with that accumulated loss which is shown on the asset side of the balance sheet? It should be debited to the partner's capital or current account, because that is the loss which they have suffered, which is created because of the work, because of the way of business they have carried out. So it should be given to them only. Okay. So it should be debited to the old partner's capital or current account. Example again, profit and loss account. Which are those accumulated losses? It can be profit and loss account, debit balance, right? Preliminary expenses. All these are called as accumulated losses, right? Profit and loss account, debit balance is a loss, okay, which is generally shown on the asset side of the balance sheet. Okay, profit and loss account, debit balance. Debit balance means which comes under the credit side of the profit and loss account. That is called as debit balance. Why? If the debit side is bigger, then they get the loss which is shown on the credit side. That loss is the debit balance. Okay, so profit and loss account, debit balance, or preliminary expenses and other accumulated losses which are shown on the balance sheet asset side, those are the losses. Those should be transferred to the old partner's capital or current account. So what is the transaction for this, journal entry for this? Old partner's capital or current account debit to accumulated loss. Okay, see, for example, we have already learned how to prepare the partner's capital or current account. Okay, again and again I'm taking this revision so that while solving the problem it should be very easy for you. Partner's capital or current account, okay, they have suffered the loss, so that loss should be debited to the partner's capital. Okay, and profit should be credited to the partner's capital. Okay, for example, the drawings, where we show the drawings are shown on the debit side of the partner's capital or current account. Similarly, the loss is transferred to them, okay, to their debit side. See, while teaching lesson number 1, I was always telling you, give attention while solving the important adjustments. Okay, why? Because that was the base. Lesson number 1 was the base. Okay, apart from this first lesson of the reconstitution, that is admission, that is again a base. So whatever the concepts which you are learning over here, basic concepts which you have learned so far, will be applicable in all the cases. Which are all the cases? Death of the partner, retirement of the partner, then dissolution of the partnership. Whatever theory we learned so far, whatever concepts were cleared so far, are applicable for all the lessons. That's why I'm telling you again and again, make the base clear. Okay, if once the base is clear, then it would be very easy for you to solve or understand the concepts and solve the problems easily and in a very quick way. Okay, so whatever is the loss, when it is, what should be done with it? Old partner's capital or current account. Okay, that loss, what we have to write? To accumulated loss. Okay, that should be debited to the old partner's capital or current account to the old partners in their old profit sharing ratio, being accumulated loss transferred to old partners. Okay, now so far we have completed the theory which was required for solving these problems. Okay, now let's move to the first illustration. This is illustration number 3. Okay, we are going to solve this illustration first because it is very easy. Now see how the problem can be given. Now read the problem properly. Anand and Rohit are partners, okay, sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 4:1. So 4:1 is their old profit sharing ratio. Their balance sheet as on 31st March 2019 was as follows. Okay, this is their balance sheet on 31st March 2019. Now let's read what is given on liability and what is given on the asset side. Capitals of Anand and Rohit are given. Okay, capital amounts are given. Then the reserve fund is there. Okay, then creditors are there and bills payable are there. And what is on the asset side? Goodwill is there, equipments are there, stock is there, debtors are there, and cash is there. So balance sheet is closing with the amount 3,60,000. Okay, so this is their balance sheet. And they agreed to admit Nachiket Nachiket is the third partner, on the following terms. Okay, some terms and conditions are given. Okay, that we generally call as adjustment. Okay, here a word has been typed capital, you make it a small. Okay, make a small word, letter, character A. They agreed to admit A make small. Okay, now while they are admitting Nachiket, they are following some terms and conditions. Which are those terms and conditions? See, the goodwill is to be written off after admission of Nachiket. Now see, these partners are writing off the goodwill. Okay, after admission of the Nachiket, they are writing off the goodwill. Okay, they are not retaining. So whatever you have learned while writing of the goodwill, that transaction, that effect we have to give. Okay, these partners are writing off. Okay, then what was the amount of goodwill? 90,000. Okay, so it will be written out between the old partners in their ratio. Now, 1/4 of the equipments to be written off. One more thing. Where are the equipments? See, equipments. 1/4 of the part of the equipments are written off. What is meant by this? The value of equipments is decreasing. Okay, they valued it. No, why it is written as here it is mentioned that it is written off because they did the revaluation. They called the valuer. Why? It may because this admission of the partner can mean, no, it is not necessary that it is happening on the last date. It can be it can happen on any day. So they are calling the valuer. Okay, valuer is a person, authorized person. The valuer values the assets and liabilities, and after valuing those assets and liabilities, they found the equipments were devalued. Okay, whatever was the amount shown on of the equipments in the books of accounts, that got devalued. It means it was written off. Okay, at how much of percent, by how many rupees? By 1/4 of their its earlier amount, it has devalued. Okay, then third, stock is undervalued by 10% and it is to be adjusted properly. What does this mean? Whatever stock has been shown over here, now listen this properly. Stock is undervalued by 10%. Whatever was the stock which is shown over here in the balance sheet, that is undervalued value. Okay, this has been undervalued by the partners in the old balance sheet. Means this is whatever is shown over here, it is less value. Its actual value is more. Okay, the stock value which is shown in the balance sheet is lesser value. Its actual value is more. By how much value it was undervalued? It was undervalued by 10%. Okay, whatever is shown over, it is undervalued value. So it should be adjusted properly. Okay, then debtors of rupees 1,800 are not recoverable. Okay, now among these debtors of rupees 1,20,000, there are some new bad debts. Which are the new bad debts? 1,800 are not paying their money. Okay, so these are the new debt. These are the amount of debtors will get decreased. Okay, because they are not realizing of amount of rupees 1,800, debtors are not realizing. Then Nachiket will introduce rupees 1,20,000 for 2/5 share of the firm. Okay, now see, what is Nachiket bringing? Nachiket bringing rupees 1,20,000, and that rupees 1,20,000 are he is bringing, and instead of that rupees 1,20,000, he is asking 2/5 share from the business. Okay, as he is asking for 2/5 share of the business, he is able to pay, he is willing to pay, or he is ready to pay rupees 1,20,000, or we can say while paying rupees 1,20,000, he is asking his share for 2/5 of the profit. Okay, so he will introduce rupees 1,20,000 for 2/5 share of the firm. And Anand withdrew rupees 60,000 from business. Okay, Anand has withdrawn also. That also we have to give the effect. But what we have to prepare? See, 6 type of adjustment, or we can call the terms. These are the terms while reconstitution, terms while admission of the partner. These are the 6 terms. But we are required to prepare only revaluation account and past journal entries of goodwill. Okay, this much only has been asked for this problem number 3. That's why I have taken this problem first. You have to prepare only revaluation account and you have to pass necessary journal entries of goodwill only. Okay, now see, only goodwill. So what should we do? They have asked to prepare the revaluation account. Now see what has been given. See, the goodwill is to be written off after admission of partner, that will do later on. Then 1/4 of the equipments to be written off. Okay, what was the amount of equipments? 45,000. Okay, and that is written off. Okay, means they found the value of the equipments lesser than the value which is shown on the book as the book value. Okay, the market value was lesser, so the amount the equipments got written off. Okay, the value found it is lesser value at what percent? 1/4. So what was their earlier amount? 45,000. So what is the 1/4 of 45,000? It is very easy to calculate. 45,000 divided by 2, that is 22,500. Okay, that was 1 by 2, that is 50%. And 1/4 means what? 25%. Okay, it is easy to calculate. 1/4 means 25% of the equipments were considered to be value of equipments. We can call that as it is a scrap. Okay, which is not used. Okay, so the value of the equipments got decreased because they found it is of scrap value now. Okay, of how much percentage? 25 percentage. So what is the 25 percentage of 45,000? It is 11,250. Okay, so it is a loss. So how should we give the effect? Revaluation account debit to equipment rupees 11,250. Because it is a nominal account, we have to consider it as it is a profit and loss account, adjustment account, same way. Okay, so what we have to give? Revaluation account debit to equipment account rupees 11,250. Then, so we have solved adjustment number 2. Stock is undervalued by 10% and it is to be adjusted properly. See, whatever was the stock shown over here, 54,000, that was undervalued stock. Actual amount is more than that. Okay, now see how much it has been undervalued. It was undervalued by 10%. Okay, always remember this word properly. This is most important kind of adjustment. Okay, which comes with valuation. It may be to or by. Okay, now here the word is given as by. Listen properly. I'm telling you again and again, the stock is undervalued by 10%. Means whatever was the actual value of the stock, okay, whatever was the actual value of the stock, here it is shown by 10% reduction. Okay, whatever is shown over here, it is shown with 10% reduction. Then if it is shown by 10% reduction, means what? It is shown here by 90% of its real value. 10% reduction means what? The 90% of its real value has been shown in the book. Okay, if 90% is rupees 54,000, okay, then how you have to solve with the maths rule? If 90% means with the 10% undervalued, has it was undervalued by mistake. Okay, so by mistake. So 90% was rupees 54,000. Then how much is the 100%? What should be its real value? Okay, then we have to calculate by this simple maths method. Okay, if 90% is 54,000, then how would it be its real value 100%? Then we have to multiply 100 into 54,000 and then we have to divide 90. Okay, by the cross multiplication rule, common maths rule, then we'll get the real value of the market value of that stock. And what we find that the market value of stock, that is 60,000. Okay, what is the 100%? That is 60,000. So real value of the stock is rupees 60,000, which is the market value. But what has been shown here? It was shown 54,000. So we have to give the effect of whatever was the mistake they had committed, because its real value was 60,000. So what is that? We found it was appreciated, no? So that should be credited to whom? To the revaluation account, because the actual value has been increased. So what you have to do? Buy stock rupees 6,000. What 6,000? What is the difference between 50 wrong value and right value? It is 6,000. 54,000 was wrongly valued, undervalued by 44,000. Its real value was 60,000. So the difference between them, that is the real value of stock, should be adjusted. And how it should be adjusted? It should be credited. Okay, it is a benefit, it is a profit, it is a gain. It should be credited to this nominal account, revaluation account. Okay, so buy stock rupees 6,000. This is an important adjustment. Okay, now debtors of rupees 1,000 are not recoverable. So debtors amounting to rupees 1,000 are not paying. So it is very simple. Two bad debts rupees 1,800. Okay, that is the common thing. Then three adjustments, three terms we have given the effect. Now Nachiket will bring 1,20,000. That will not be shown over here in the revaluation account. Revaluation should be done for the assets only. Okay, assets and liabilities. Then Anand withdrew rupees 60,000. That also will not be shown over here because that is not related to the assets and balance sheet of their earlier balance sheet. See, these entries, these terms will not be given effect here in revaluation account. These two terms will not be given effect in the revaluation account. Why? Because those are not related to the earlier balance sheet. Okay, neither because of this his capital, or not by the withdrawn of the 60,000, it is giving effect to the balance sheet. Okay, so it will not be shown in the revaluation account. Revaluation of the old balance sheet only is done. Similarly for the goodwill which is written off, okay, that will also not give effect to their balance sheet. Okay, so we have prepared the revaluation account. Now after doing the total of the amounts given on the debit side of the revaluation account, we find the total as rupees 13,050. Okay, which is bigger or greater than the total on the credit side, because there was only one item with the value rupees 6,000 on the credit side. So what they suffered, because of that they are suffering the loss on revaluation. See, they are suffering the loss on revaluation. Okay, and that loss should be transferred to the partners capital account. Who are the partners? Anand and Rohit. What was the amount of the loss? That is the closing amount. See, 7,050 is the closing amount, because to tally this amount with this amount, because you have to make this show the same total. This is the closing amount, that is the balancing amount, that is the loss. That loss should be distributed to partners Anand and Rohit in the ratio 4:1. Okay. Now 7,050 we have to distribute to old partners Anand and Rohit. In which ratio? 4:1. So what should be done? What is the amount? Rupees 7,050. How many parts should be made of it? 5 parts, because 4 plus 1 are the 5 parts. 7,050. 5 parts should be done. Okay. And one part should be given, one part of profit should be given to Rohit, and fourth part should be given to four part of profit should be given to Anand. Okay, so one part of loss is, sorry, loss, one part of loss, that is rupees 1,410, should be transferred to Rohit's capital account, and rupees 5,640 should be transferred to Anand's capital account. Okay, see here we have to transfer like this, because current account balances has not been given, okay, in their earlier balance sheet. So we have to prepare by the fluctuating capital method only. So by fluctuating capital method, we have to transfer it to the capital accounts itself. Okay. Now, what is the journal entry? Now, this adjustment number 2, 3, and 4 we had given effect in the revaluation account, right? Or profit and loss account, a profit and loss adjustment account. To which terms the effect is given in these two accounts, either revaluation or profit and loss account, which are related to balance sheet only, old balance sheet only. Okay. For these three, we have given already effect in revaluation account. Okay. Now, apart from that, what is left? The goodwill is to be written off after admission of Nachiket. Okay. But what they have told you, past journal entries of goodwill and prepare revaluation account and past journal entries of goodwill. Now, What was the amount of goodwill? 90,000. Okay, now you have only been asked to pass journal entries to goodwill only. Okay, you have not been asked to pass the entries or give the treatment or show the effect of these two transactions. Okay, only you have to pass journal entries with the goodwill. Now, goodwill is to be written up. These partners are writing of the goodwill before admitting the new partner. Okay, or after admission of the new partner, they are writing of the goodwill. So what was the amount of goodwill? 90,000. So how it should be written, in which ratio? Then their old profit sharing ratio, because Nachiket has nothing to do with. Okay, so it should be what is, see, 4 plus 5. What was Anand's ratio? 4. What was Rohit's ratio? 5. So what was their total ratio? Total, that was 5. Okay, how much is the value of goodwill? 90,000. Okay, 90,000 is the value of goodwill, and how it should be transferred to them, their capital, in which ratio? There are total 5 parts. Okay, so one part will go to Rohit. Okay, 90,000 divided by 5 into 1. What is 90,000 divided by 5? It is 18,000. Okay, 18 5 are 90. So 18,000 amount of goodwill will be debited to Rohit's capital account. Okay, and into 4, that will get Anand will get. So Anand's capital account, 18,000 into 4, that is 72,000. Okay, 72,000 amount of goodwill will be withdrawn by, because that is a withdraw. So it will be debited to their capital accounts. Okay, so 72,000 will be debited to Anand's capital account, and 18,000 will be debited to Rohit's capital account. Okay, and what will be credited? What is going off? That is goodwill. Okay, because goodwill is written off. Amount rupees 90,000. Okay, so being goodwill written off after admission of partner. Okay, so to the partner's capital or current account, we have partner's capital account only because current account balance has not been given. So it is that clear that they are maintaining the partner's capital by fluctuating capital method. So whatever goodwill they have withdrawn, that will be debited to their partner's capital account. Okay, to Anand and to Rohit. Okay, with this you have completed illustration number 3. Now let's move to today's quiz, where the loss on the revaluation is transferred. Where it is transferred, loss on the revaluation. Loss on the revaluation. Okay, 4 options has been given. Is it transferred to new partner's current account to the debit side? Old partner's capital or current account debit side? Old partner's capital or current account credit side? Or to the new partner's current account credit side? You have to choose the correct option, because I have taught you in this lecture only. Okay, and you have to give the correct answer immediately. What we will learn in the next lecture? We'll continue this topic, admission of partnership, and whatever is relevant to illustration number 1 and 2. Okay, illustration number 1 and 2, that is different methods of valuation of goodwill and treatment of goodwill, will cover in next lecture. Okay, which is given on page number 128 to 132. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe, and study online.